The food I miss the most from the outside is my mom's cooking, for sure, off tops. My mom's birria, my mom's mole, my mom's tamales. Everything is just like, oh my gosh. Authentic Mexican food is just extremely delicious. If you haven't tasted it, I don't know where you've been at. You've probably been in jail.
This is my friend Daniel. I met him through Gateways for Incarcerated Youth, a college class that allows students and incarcerated youth to learn alongside each other at Green Hills School, a juvenile detention facility in Chehalis, Washington. Daniel was one of my first friends in the class, and we bonded over our mutual love for 90s R&B. He got locked up just before his 16th birthday, and he was sentenced to 20 years.
My name is Daniel Perez. I'm from Yakima, and I'm 20 years old. I first got booked when I was 15 years old. Like, everything was just kind of tunnel vision, me and my gang, and that's it. And everything else was like, nothing else mattered. Everything else was less. I went to the juvenile in Yakima. I was fresh off the streets. And then I transitioned into the county jail, where I was placed with adults. I wasn't allowed to like sit amongst them or anything. I had to program alone because I was younger. You come out every 32 hours for 2 hours. You only get 2 visits a week that are 30 minutes through a small video screen. You know, having parents that can't even speak English, so they can't even call to set up the visit. I think anyone could just imagine being 15 and it's like, I guess that'd be 9th grade. I was sitting in the jail cell and my lawyers tell me that I'm facing like 30 odd years. The guy next door to you is about, 30, 40 years old, and he's looking at 3 life sentences. It's like, damn, what am I crying about? They're sitting there talking about how they're trying to get into these college courses. This guy is gonna accomplish all these things, and he has like 3 life sentences, but he's still doing it. He's still striving for that education, that knowledge. A lot of people see you being incarcerated as you becoming more of a criminal, indulging yourself more deeply in that gang lifestyle. And it's like, you could form your incarceration instead. Rehabilitation is a very important part to the jail system, but not the way they do it, right now, with a whole bunch of just psychologists sitting in the office reading books about how teenage minds work. Put those statistics away, put those, PhD books away. Sit down and talk to somebody that's locked up, that's a teenager, that lived a rough life, you know what I mean? Interesting how these people go through so much schooling and whatnot to, at the end of the day, not have realized that in order to know somebody, you have to talk to them.
Daniel is forming his incarceration by partaking in Green Hills Latino culture group, reading on his own time, and taking the Gateways college class.
A couple of my friends were here and they were just telling me about how they're in college class and how it was pretty cool that they get to interact with people from the outs. And it's like when you just sit down with people your own age and like talk about normal stuff, like the coolest rapper out there or like the new stupidest video that they be playing or whatever, Honestly, I remember first meeting Maya, I think it was like last year. And then we're sitting there and another guy asked her, like, when you come here, do you think like, damn, I'm gonna go to a jail and get with criminals? And she's like, no. And I was like, oh, okay. Almost everybody that I've met from Evergreen, like they see us as people and it's like, yeah, that's cool. That's great. Gangs target children because they know that those minds are easily manipulated. And once that mind is molded to the gang lifestyle, then there ain't no changing it back. If you're from my rival gang, you're not gonna talk to me regardless if I'm trying to help our people or not. So I gotta go to those children before they choose up, before they get there. I gotta make sure that they do choose the right path. There's a lot more to the world than just a couple streets in my town, I wanna be there for people that see knowledge as kind of a waste of time, as something boring. Incarceration doesn't form you, you form your incarceration instead of doing what everybody expects you to do with your incarceration.